All right, ladies, so some of you wanted to know more about the modalities of the machine. Right now, I'm using the Texas Electrology Supply. You can just go to texaselectrolysupply.com to get more information about this machine. I don't have any affiliation with them whatsoever. This is just the first machine that I bought in order to kind of start my process and practice more. So I'm going to turn this off and just talk to you a little bit more about the modalities. So we have thermolysis. You turn this wheel, it goes from thermolysis to blend to electrolysis. Basically, based off of the thickness of the hair, whether it's more vellus hair or more coarse hair, you're gonna choose this. So for now, since I usually use thermolysis, I'm gonna choose thermolysis. I don't like doing automatic just yet because I'm still practicing my insertions, so I always do no automatic. I was doing coarse hair earlier, but see, you can do vellus, thin, average, medium, and coarse hair. And essentially, they do provide you a booklet, if I can find it here. Hold on. Okay, I found it. Hold on a second. They do provide you a booklet with all that you need to know about galvanic electrolysis intensity and thermolysis intensity. The main, hold on one second. All right. This is going to be your Bible. This is basically the only, for the most part, it's what I use in order to figure out, okay, which modality, et cetera, et cetera. So here you have intensity 20 to 30, 20 to 40 for electrolysis, auto timing, and then this is the auto timing. For me, since I don't use automatic, I always say, okay, I test a hair. So for instance, if I'm doing a more coarser hair, I know that I need to go down here to deep coarse hair. So I need to turn the thermolysis on to 45, turn the electrolysis to 95 if I'm doing blend, and then start the process. I typically only use thermolysis. I don't use the blend just yet. For this machine, I'm not really sure if I'm interested in using blend because it seems like it takes a really long time. So I stick with thermolysis because for me, it is the most effective way to remove the hair. Electrolysis would be more for me, more so for vellus hair. Most of my clients I see are that have fine hair, I'll use electrolysis. And then for more coarse hair, I will use thermolysis. So 45, 95. And then go from there. It says keep the electrolysis and thermolysis settings at least 5 points apart, with the electrolysis setting being the higher one of the two. So that is how I set my machine. I always kind of adjust based off of how coarse the hair is. So for instance, if I used 45 and it's not working, I'll go up 10 points and try the hair again, and I'll push it all the way to 100 if I need to. I would test this on myself first before working with any clients. I can show you guys what I used in order to kind of like practice my insertions and practice tweezing. With this machine particularly, I do like to use the gold ballet needles. I like using these because they seem to be more effective on removing the hairs. And here you can see that it will give you a guideline of where can I, if this is an F3, I think this is an F3, let me check. This is an F3. If I'm using F3, where can I typically use this needle, like what part of the body? So F3, it can be used under the arms, it can be used under the chin, abdomen area, lady bits. and then thigh area. For the K2 and F2 shanks, you can either use it, you can use it in all of these areas. So the brows, mustache, hands, if you have any like hair on the toes, you can use it for that as well. And then these are the thicker probes. The K5, K6, F5, and F6 are used for these areas. Sideburns, chest, legs. So my recommendation is that you get one of each. I would say one of these, two of these, and try K5. I would say try F5, F6. See how that works and go from there. This is how I set my needle. So I always make sure that this bulb is showing, so that, you know, I just know that I'm getting all the advantages of all the hairs. Let me put this down really quick. So I'm gonna try to do this with one hand. Whenever you take this off, you'll see that I put mine all the way at the end or close to the end, so that, let me push it over here, so that I can make sure that I'm using all of this. Note it that this is an insulated probe, so your client isn't gonna feel the warm sensation from this tip. They're only gonna feel a warm sensation from this tip that is not insulated. So this is insulated, this is not insulated, so that you can directly target the hair follicle, the blood supply. Whenever you put this in, typically you're supposed to use tweezers, but I'm gonna use my hands just for the sake of this video, and one hand. So you push this in, let me see. Oh, wait, hold on one sec, guys. Push this in to the center of the probe. And then check to see if your cap, this cap here, is going to allow this to show. Gosh, you guys, just bear with me because this is going to be a little bit fuzzy. To make sure that this cap is visible, I'm going to show you what it looks like whenever I put the cap on and this is pushed down all the way. So that's pushed down all the way. Whenever I put the cap on, and I secure it, you see, I don't have a lot of leeway as far as how deep I can push this into the hair follicle. So I'm gonna need to uncap this and then push up the probe a little bit more. So I'm gonna push this up more. There we go. And then I'm gonna put this back on. So as you can see, I have more depth with the probe. So I can push this directly into a deeper hair, and I can, that's what I'm looking for. And I can target that fine hair all the way deep inside, deep inside the hair follicle, whether it's a coarse hair or a fine hair. So that's what I would do to make sure that I'm getting the full benefit of the probe and my client is getting a direct connection to the follicle blood supply. So I hope that helps you guys. I'm gonna have to do more videos. What I'm thinking about is creating a new YouTube channel specifically for electrolysis, but that's gonna be so much work for me, especially right now because I'm doing skincare and I'm doing electrolysis. So I'll let you guys know what I decide. Thank you so much for joining me today. maybe tomorrow we'll talk about electrolysis and how to do that. But yeah, let me know if you guys want any more videos like this. I want to move on to more client-based content, so we'll go from there. Bye guys.